What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Special guest, Daryl from Lowdown's in the building. He was here a couple of months ago. You guys liked it. I don't really go into the comment section that much, but I went there. It wasn't too bad. It was good.
They were good on me.
They're good on you. So we brought him back again, people. It was about 2 months ago, wasn't it?
Around that, yeah. I'd say about 2 months ago.
And this is the perfect time to bring him back because we have, I think, one of the biggest heavyweight fights in the last sort of, 15, 20. It's hard sometimes. People talk about that kind of stuff, but it's difficult. But I think the last 15, 20 years at least, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2. I want to pick his brains about everything because I feel like I'm a bit AJ biased when it comes to it. So we're going to get someone here that's going to be straight down the line and is going to tell it how it is. Daryl, first question. Is this number one versus number two?
You know what? I put that out there on my channel as well.
Yeah.
And is it number one v number two? You know what? It's up in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up in the air if it's number one or number two. I think at the moment, the Ring Magazine belt's on the line.
Yeah.
And I follow the Ring Magazine rankings very closely.
Yeah.
It's like my Bible with
Yeah.
boxing. I know that is their tagline anyway. I'd say at the moment, there you could put a strong argument for it. It is a number one v number two, considering obviously Anthony Joshua did lose to Andy Ruiz, which was a major shock. He won the titles back, but throughout that time, Wilder and Fury remained undefeated, and they are the top two at the moment. You can put a strong argument in for that.
For me, look, I'm an AJ fan. You guys know this, and I said it is number one versus number two, and I didn't mean it based on things like resume and what have you done lately. I meant it on a case of, I think if everyone was fighting everyone like a fucking Royal Rumble, these would be the last two men standing.
Yeah.
I think I would favour them against everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's including Anthony Joshua. I'd favour Fury over AJ and Wilder over AJ. That's why I say number one versus number two. I think people have come back at me and said, oh, but AJ's got all the belts and this and that. Resume. I get that. Resume, I fully understand that. I've done the video on that. But I think based on who I think would beat who, that's why I think it's number one versus number two.
It's a fair point. And I think that these two, you can't argue it. I mean, we know who the top three are anyway, but with these two, you can have like Wilder as number one, Fury as number two, or reverse it. But I'd say, yeah, as of now, this is number one v number two.
What I like so much about this fight, I know there's so many things I like about the fight, but what I like most, I think, is the fact that there are no excuses. This isn't someone coming off a year layoff. This isn't someone past his best. This isn't someone with a serious injury, although Tyson Fury's eye injury can be quite serious. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is guys in their prime fighting right now. And when you consider all the other big fights over the years, Floyd, Manny, 5 years too late, Golovkin, Canelo, a couple of years too late, Klitschko, Joshua, another big one, but Klitschko was maybe 2 years past it. This is now legit prime for prime. No excuses whatsoever.
No excuses, man. And this is just one of those rarities where you get two undefeated fighters, both great charismatic, but both of these are great charismatic guys.
Yeah.
One's just a phenomenal puncher. Other one a brilliant boxer.
Yeah.
And the clash of personalities, styles, like everything is going to mesh. And this is what we all want to see as boxing fans. It doesn't get any better than that.
No fence sitting. Who do you think wins this, by the way? Before we talk so many other stuff. I forgot. Let's get that one straight away. Who do you think wins this fight?
You just want me to just say it?
Say it. Who do you think wins? Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a tough one, isn't it? So and that's why I think we love it so much. Yeah. Because it is that tough.
And
it really is that tough.
It gets people debating. Yeah. Man, you know what?
I've gone back and forth.
I've gone back and forth.
And I think that's more testament to Fury. Because again, when this fight happened December 2018, it was like, oh, Wilder's going to destroy him. Yeah. Two fights later, Fury hasn't looked that great, has he? Tom Schwartz was okay. Otto Wallen was awful. Yeah. Deontay Wilder's looked a lot better. Dominic Breazeale decimated him. Yeah, and Luis Ortiz, I know he was losing every round, but again, decimated him. So you wonder, based on that, why has Fury almost like a joint favourite? Yeah. Considering that he's gone away and haven't looked good, but Deontay Wilder's gone away and looked okay. Yeah. Why is it now a case of Fury? Where's that come from?
I think it might be a case of people watching the first fight again.
Yeah.
People looking at, Fury winning the majority of the rounds other than the knockdowns, and Fury now looking in very good shape. Yeah. Now training with Sugar Hill. And I don't know, I think that is the style to defeat Wilder, what Fury is talking about. So I can see why the odds are as they are, but if you want me to pick a name, like in my gut
feeling,
I'm have to pick Wilder. And I'm picking Wilder because I just think it's going to be very difficult for Fury to avoid that right for the whole 12 rounds. And I could see it being like Fury winning every round. Me texting my mates, Fury's dominating.
And then boom.
Beating the shit out of him, all this. And then literally 10th round, boom. Out of nowhere, I can see it. I mean, I don't want that to happen. Yeah. I want Fury to win.
Oh, do you? Yeah, do you?
I want Fury to
win.
Yeah.
Why?
I want him to bring it back over here.
Okay.
I think
even though he probably won't bring it back over here. in the sense that he probably won't ever defend it in Britain, even if he does win. But I know what you mean.
I'm just really... With the Wilder and Joshua thing, that was the fight for me. That was the Super Bowl. That was the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting wary that, all this stuff that's going on with the PBC and Al Heyman, I'm just worried that we're never going to see it. So I'm just thinking in the future, like, okay, maybe we might see Fury against Joshua more than Wilder against Joshua. And I just want an undisputed champion.
Okay.
So I'm thinking in that sense. I like both guys. I'm not going to pretend that.
Oh yeah, watching them this weekend and the build-up, I've realised that as well, that I actually genuinely like both of them.
I like both.
Both of them have got great personalities. Both of them have got great stories. Both been through hardship. Yeah. Wilder with his daughter coming up the hard way as well. Yeah. Again, let's be honest, not promoted right, tough fights. Somehow has managed to stay undefeated, I think, and promote himself. I think he is almost self-promoted. Yeah. Fury, obviously, we know what's happened with him and the drugs and blowing up in weight. Both got great stories. So I actually genuinely like both as well.
I like both guys. But I just
picking Wilder.
I'm just, in my gut, I could just... And there's no, like, if Fury wins on points and he, like, wins a wide decision, then I'm not going to say, I didn't see that coming, because I did.
Yeah.
Like, I can see that coming. But just in my gut, I just feel like Wilder's going to land and he's going to drop him.
So there's no way in your head that Fury wins by knockout or Wilder wins by points?
Definitely not Wilder on points. Not for me.
No, he's not outboxing Fury.
Can't see him outboxing Fury over 12.
Although his boxing's a bit underrated.
It is.
When he goes Wilder, it looks rubbish. Yeah. But when he takes his time and thinks, good jab, decent movement.
Underrated
just
jab.
Underrated boxing ability.
Jab. I just think that Fury style is a nightmare for Wilder.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare for him. Especially if he throws the feints and he, is on his toes and he gets in Wilder's head like what he was doing in the first fight. All that sort of stuff was working great for Fury. And he needs to do more of that in this fight. All this talk about him going for the knockout and, trying to smother Wilder. Because I've heard a lot of people that follow me are saying that they want to see Fury do that. Like smother him and, because he's a lot bigger than him. And I just rather him do what he was doing. Because he was doing it so well until he get caught. So why change it?
Yeah.
So the talk of a knockout with Fury, I can't see it. But I could probably see it more than Wilder winning on points.
Boxing's always been a case of what have you done for me lately? If you go back to Fury's last performance against Otto Wallin, what from that performance do you take that gives you any confidence that Fury's going to be able to last or stay in there or even outbox? I mean, there were times in there where Otto Wallin was sometimes outboxing Fury.
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah.
Look, the only thing I can take from that fight was the way how Fury recovered from adversity.
Yeah.
The cut was a major cut.
Ridiculous.
Credit to it.
Could have been stopped.
It could have easily been stopped.
Should have been.
Yeah. I think it could have been. Easily could have been stopped. I think it's only because it was Fury and it was on ESPN that it wasn't. But any other fight, maybe if it was on the undercard, it would have. I think that taking away that, coming from adversity through that, and getting the victory will hold him in good stead against somebody like Wilder, because I mean he knows what it's like to be in there with him anyway. But just going through that and coming out on the other side with the win, I think that is the only thing. Because he didn't look very good to me at all. Yeah,
he didn't at all. I mean, look at last time, and obviously that team in the corner with Ben Davison, Ricky Hatton, Freddie Roach. Everyone forgets Ricky Hatton and Freddie Roach for some reason. It was almost like three gods in that corner. Yeah. Last time, a lot of people thought he won the fight, even though it was a draw. Why change that setup now? I mean, let's be honest, he's not going to go in there and try and stand toe-to-toe with Deontay Wilder. A lot of people think he's brought Sugar Hill Stewart in for that. Yeah. Why change it now, so close to a fight? Why not keep Ben Davison?
Well, Tyson Fury strikes me as the character of somebody that will just
do what he wants.
He'll just do what he wants. Off the cuff, he'll just I don't think that, I know he talks about a training routine, but I just think in his head, if he wants to do something, he'll do it. Him and Ben Davison obviously still get on. They're still very close. And I was liking how their, boxing relationship was developing.
Yeah.
I thought that Ben Davison was doing very well. He helped bring him back from,
adversity.
And some will say that it's not fair, but, in the mind of a fighter, you've got to do what's best for you. And if he feels that, Sugar Hill will be the guy to take him up a level, then why not take it at this stage of your career? I mean, you're the master of your own destiny. So,
do you think he's made a mistake? I guess only time will tell, right?
Time will tell, yeah, I suppose. He looks in very good shape.
Yeah, looks in fantastic shape, I have to admit. He's never going to be body beautiful.
No.
This is weird. So when I always say to people he looks in great shape, people look at me like, I don't see any abs. I'm saying some people just don't have that body shape. Tony Bellew's like that as well. Yeah. He looks in great shape, doesn't have the body shape. Not everyone can look like Joshua or Wilder. Yeah. But for Tyson Fury, that is a good Tyson Fury shape.
Looks very good. Yeah. And I mean, at the press conference yesterday, he looked very good. I mean, I was surprised how much bigger he looked than Wilder. I know he had a jacket on. He's
massive, isn't he?
He just looked a lot bigger than him, and his
4 stone difference. They're saying 4 stone difference, and it's weird. All these lower weight guys talk about 1 pound and 2 pounds and a bit of a catch weight and this weight. Wilder has 4 stone less than Tyson Fury, which is crazy.
When you think about it in the lower divisions, I mean that's like from
that's 7 weight classes. Yeah, that could be 7 weight. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how ridiculous it is, and it's ridiculous that the guy that is smaller is the guy that possesses the most power. Yeah. Very strange.
And I don't think it's a good idea for Fury to be too heavy. Because at the end of the day, I think for him, his best chance of victory is to be mobile. And Wilder's the quicker puncher. If you're going to go trade for trade with him, he's going to land on you first. And we know what happens then. So, it's going to be interesting to see what sort of strategy he does, because he's talking about the knockout. But a lot of my followers are convinced that, he's going to go for it. But I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think he should.
Yeah, I think it's just talk. I don't think Fury can... We've watched Fury since the get-go, and he's never gone for the knockout in any of his fights. You know what I mean? Even ones where he's got the knockouts, it's been kind of fortuitous. It's not been like he's going for it. It just happens. Remember, Steve Cunningham's a good example. And Tom Schwartz. He's not a knockout guy. He's just not that guy. What do you make of the fact that there could be a trilogy in this fight? I mean, Frank Warren done a sit-down interview with, I think, Boxing Social. I think it was Boxing Social, Rob Tebbett. And he said, like, regardless of the outcome, how it plays out, the loser has the right to ask for the rematch.
Overdoing it.
Yeah.
Overdoing it. I mean, the second fight for me is the one. I just want a conclusive victory and then move on. You know, unless we call for the trilogy, why force it down our throats? Because it's already going to have people thinking, is this going to be set up for like the third fight? Or anything like that? That's
a good point.
We don't really. I want a conclusive winner now. I don't want it to have another third fight because then.
What if it is controversial?
Yeah.
What if it is though controversial? I think even if it is controversial, I think fans dictate. If we don't have an appetite for it, it doesn't happen again.
Even if it's controversial, don't do it immediately.
Yeah, like Golovkin, Canelo, all been controversial. You don't have to run it immediately again.
Do it immediately, because I wasn't interested in the third Golovkin, Canelo.
Nor was I, and they were both great close fights. Yeah. But we've seen it now. There are other heavyweights in there.
Yeah. And that's how I feel. I mean, let's say Fury wins on points, and Wilder knocks him down twice again, and it's close this time, and. Let them fight, let Wilder fight Dylan White or whoever, or let Fury fight Dylan White, for example. Let Wilder fight somebody else, and then maybe next year meet. But I'll just see, they seem to have
immediate rematch is weird.
It kind of throws me off.
It throws me off as well. Again, because there are so many other heavyweights we want to see them in with. Yeah. It kind of makes me feel like, come on, guys.
It's thriving, man.
Come on.
Like, so
it really is thriving, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is thriving, and I think Dylan White deserves his opportunity. I feel like I've been saying it for 2 years, but he does deserve his opportunity. So you have Deontay Wilder as big favourite. Well, not big favourite, but favourite.
It's only because you've pressed me.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the way here, I'm thinking, Fury points. But I'm going to say my gut, Wilder will take him out late.
I think Wilder ices him as well. I've said it as well. Yeah, I think he puts him to sleep.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, no, like out.
Yeah.
Like you could count for 2 minutes.
Wow.
Honestly, I genuinely believe he could ice. I was trying to think who has taken most from the first fight. Yeah. And there's something about, I've watched the Pianetta fight again, that's Fury Pianetta, and Wilder ringside, and he's literally laughing. He's looking at this, who the hell is this kid? He gives him his belt, he's like, hold on to my belt, who are you, you bum? I think he almost underestimated Fury so much. Yeah. And I think when you're underestimating someone, you're training underestimating him, you get into the ring, you're underestimating it, and then it just becomes too late. Then once the guy's in front of you thinking, fuck me, he's a lot better than I thought, I think this Wilder now is fully focused. And I think he's going to detonate him.
He's been in with much sharper competition. We can't knock that fact. He's been in with, Fury's opponents, Schwartz and...
They're embarrassing.
Yeah.
They're embarrassing.
What would Wilder have done to them two? Do you know what I mean? He would have iced them.
My God.
On the same night.
Oh my God. Honestly, I'm not joking. It could. Honestly, he could. He could literally,
So Wilder's been in, all right, we didn't really want the rematch with Ortiz. No one asked for it. But at the end of the day, Ortiz is levels above those two.
Yeah.
Brazil is even levels above those two.
Yeah, easily.
And I just think that he's going to be sharper. I know Fury... It's very hard to really,
Fury's a tough one. He's such a tough one because he literally goes from fighting F-level guys to putting on clinics against A-levels.
That's the thing.
There is no B, C, and D's in that resume. It's literally F then A. Yeah. And it's like, so I'm judging him on fighting F guys, and it's like, it's difficult. How do I pick things from those performances when you're fighting nobodies? Yeah. But then we know, once the bright lights come on, this guy performs. But I'm always going to go with the puncher. Because I feel like as soon as Tyson Fury tires just a little bit, and that head movement that he does, that kind of jittery style, slows down just a fraction. And we're talking a fraction here. And that right hand lands in there.
And it wasn't even the right hand that took Fury out in the first fight.
Yeah.
Left hook.
Left hook.
So, I mean, yeah, I just think that Fury can definitely win on points, but my gut's just telling me Wilder's going to land around the 10th.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I would ideally want Fury to win just for our selfish reasons of setting up a mega British blockbuster that will probably be in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. But and I just think, although Frank and Eddie have their problems, I feel like it could work somehow.
See that press conference.
Jesus Christ, that would oh my God, that would be pay-per-view. Yeah, honestly, that press conference could be pay-per-view. Yeah. It could be ridiculous. Joshua's been mentioned in this build-up a lot. Obviously, a lot of people have been talking about the potential of Joshua fighting both. He's obviously on the outside looking in right now. Can't get into both of them. That's what's scary about Joshua as well. Before it was like he can't fight Wilder. Now it's like he can't fight Wilder or Fury. Frank Warren done an interview the other day, again with Rob Tebbett. Good interview. Go and check it out on Boxing Social's page if you've not seen it. And he said that Joshua won't get more than 40% if they were to fight both. What do you make of that statement?
That tells me that the fight's not realistic.
It's not going to happen, is it?
If he's serious about that, then tells me that the fight's not going to happen. Where have you calculated 40% for Anthony Joshua when you consider the amount of tickets he sells? And I don't understand. All right, maybe is it because he's got the loss? Is that why he's saying it?
I don't know.
Because
it means nothing.
It doesn't mean anything. I mean, Joshua is the cash cow of the heavyweight division.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
By the way, with a gap.
Yeah.
It's actually with a gap.
With a major gap.
Yeah.
Kind of like your football team to everybody else.
Liverpool to everyone else. It's that, no, honestly, it is that kind of big. He's that far in front. Not of everyone in boxing, obviously, because of Canelo, but in terms of the heavyweight division, it's easily the cash cow.
No one's doing those sort of numbers.
I mean, he looks at stadiums while people check arenas.
Yeah.
He's looking at stadiums on a consistent basis. So I'm actually got to a stage now where, and I was going to make a video about this yesterday, where I'm actually now fearful that Joshua versus Wilder or Fury will never happen.
And that's terrible news for boxing fans.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous.
It's always going to be a matter of what if, and it's a shame. Like Amir Khan and Kell Brook, Junior Witter and Ricky Hatton, fights that we've never got to see.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of them where we're like, I wonder what would have happened if Joshua fought Wilder or Joshua fought Fury.
And fans now go back and forth with each other saying, oh, this person ducked, that person ducked. We as fans know nothing about what goes on behind the scenes. Yeah. These fighters are definitely not ducking each other. These fighters aren't scared of each other. They're not built like that. Yeah. But it's just managers behind and promoters behind and TV necks and all those kind of people don't want these fights to happen. Yeah. And it's a shame.
I'm hoping it's just bold talk from Frank. Yeah, maybe because of what's been going on with him over the last couple of weeks, his fight is going over to
cheeky, innit?
Yeah, he's probably just
pissed off.
Yeah,
let's be honest, he's fucking pissed off with Eddie.
I would be too.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just fighting talk from him. We know Frank's like that anyway. So bit concerning though.
What about Joshua fighting Pulev? I mean, how big fight? Excited for it?
Don't set my pulses racing, if I'm honest.
Does it?
Never has. Even when it was announced the first time.
Yeah, like a couple of years back.
Yeah, it was never like, oh, because I've always thought Joshua would destroy Pulev.
Do you still think that, by the way?
Yeah, I do.
Even this version of Joshua now?
This version of Joshua now.
Yeah.
Pulev's got a good jab. I'm not underestimating him. But I just think he's made for Joshua. I think that Joshua would destroy Pulev. I don't think he's... Pulev, I'm not underestimating him. I want to emphasise that, but... Styles make fights. I just think Pulev, how's he going to beat Joshua?
No idea.
He's not going to beat him.
But I have to say though, this is a new version of Joshua. That Joshua that I saw fight Andy Ruiz the second time round, that Joshua scares me.
I think
I'm not joking, that Joshua scares me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always thinking if someone lands, like honestly, like if you asked me a couple of years ago who would win Joshua versus Dillian, I said Joshua all day. Yeah. Now I'm thinking, I'll be a bit nervous for him.
But was he just using that style for Ruiz? But we have to look at it like this guy battered him 6 months prior.
Yeah.
Going in there straight away with the guy who battered him. He did what he had to do. I don't think Joshua's going to fight like that going forward all the time. I think he'll adapt his style where he needs to, but I think he needs a confidence fight in between. I think Pulev will be that fight.
How long are fans going to accept Joshua not fighting Wilder or Fury? And are they going to start to put the blame towards Joshua or Eddie Hearn?
I think some of them are already, aren't they?
Yeah, because Fury's in there, and everyone was like, "Oh, Fury's never going to do it." They negotiated that he's fighting.
Yeah.
What's going on? You're supposed to have the biggest promoter in the world. You've got the backing of DAZN and Sky Sports, financially powerhouses. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we're seeing Pulev and we're seeing Ruiz. We're supposed to see Jarrell Miller. Are we accepting this?
I don't even like talking about it anymore. When it was all going on, I was like, I didn't really want to get involved as to who was ducking who, but I was like, just every day I'd see, this person's ducking him, or like, this is the reason why. It's Shelley Finkel, it's Al Heyman, it's Eddie Hearn, we got proof here. After
how tiring did that get?
Tiring, yeah. It just gets tiring, boring, and like, you just want to see some movement. You just want to see it happen. Even if that means no one talks about it, and they're just working behind the scenes, and then they just make an announcement. I'll be happy with that, but the constant back and forth in the media, and I think that these promoters know what they're doing too. I think they're playing up to it and for a little bit just to try and hype it up. But I just think they're going over the top now. We've seen many times, especially over the last year, with big fights not being made because fighters are losing.
Yeah.
Jamel Charlo with Jared Hurd, for example.
Yeah.
Both of those guys lost, and
that would have been a great fight as well.
Would have been a great fight, but we can't. They spoke about it too much, and then they both lost.
Does Eddie Hearn speak too much? And I love it, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say, Eddie, if you're watching this, I don't say shut up or anything. I like it. Yeah. But I growing up, I never knew what someone's purse was. I never knew anything. I never knew about offers on the table. Nothing. And I didn't necessarily care. But now, for some reason, we're starting to hear about fighters turn down this amount of money and that amount of money. I sent a text to that person. He's showing screenshots about Adrian Broner saying this and saying that. I wonder if fighters are like, well, just don't let people know what I'm getting paid. Just keep quiet. Let's negotiate. Don't call Shelley Finkel Shirley Winkle. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? All these things. I wonder if he's pissed a few people off.
Yeah. I think it's good for us to see.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
For us to see, but I mean,
that transparency, I guess.
Yeah, like with the whole Jamal Charlo situation.
Yeah.
Like the text messages and stuff. I find that interesting.
Yeah.
Because even Jamal Charlo had to come out and then have to admit that he was like, yeah, he has texted me. Do you know what I mean? So I do like it, but I think for a big fight like this, I'm prepared for them to not say anything and just say, yeah, we're in discussions, can't talk about it, and then leave it at that, if that means the fight gets made.
I wonder if he fucked up a couple of years back when we know he offered, I think, Deontay Wilder 12 million to fight AJ at Wembley. I think people forgot that. Yeah. And Deontay Wilder turned it down, and then we realised the split was something like 80-20 in Joshua's favour. I mean, you had the opportunity there and you fucked up. You were greedy. Yeah. Let's be honest. I mean, if you offered Deontay Wilder a 60-40 split, that fight happens. Yeah. You offered him a 20 split and it was like, what is this? And I think people have forgotten that. Like, Eddie Hearn could have made that fight if he was a lot more generous in his offer.
Yeah. I think they've got a reputation for being greedy.
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. And
AJ doesn't come across like that, but he obviously is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, because I mean, even after the loss to Ruiz, I heard him come out and say something like, I just still deserve the lion's share. And I was just like, you know what? Just sometimes just sacrifice that for this fight, for the fans.
Yeah.
Just we know you earn a lot of money and stuff like that. But just for this fight, if you really want to make that fight happen, sometimes you might just have to just sacrifice it.
Just sacrifice it and accept 50-50.
Just accept it. Yeah, it might hurt your pride a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're giving us what we want. And if you're really confident of beating him, then, it just opens up the door for other opportunities. Gut
feeling, do those fights ever happen? Do you ever see AJ... I actually can't picture him anymore. There was a time a year ago where I could actually picture AJ Wilder, Wembley Stadium, and it being the biggest thing ever. Like, ever. Yeah. Now I can't even... I don't know why. I think my fear is that AJ would take another L.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
One of them will.
Yeah, one of them will. And another L is bad.
Yeah.
It's bad for business. And I think that's it. It just kind of, I don't know, just makes it less of a spectacle.
Yeah.
A year ago, it was like unbeaten versus unbeaten, knockout artist versus knockout artist, American versus Brit, two massive guys. It had everything. Yeah. Now it's like,
Yeah. I'm trying to be optimistic.
Yeah.
I still think that it could happen. Pray to the boxing gods, people, and just hope that it does. But
I don't even know who they are anymore.
Yeah. I just think that possibly, maybe it could be when it's too late.
Yeah.
Similar with Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah, where it generates a lot of money, but in terms of the spectacle, it's like the worst fight ever.
Yeah, they would say, it's been a couple of years too late. It should have happened in 2017, 2018. And I'm still holding out hope.
All right, last question on Joshua because I want to move on. So much else to discuss. Bob Arum done an interview with Adam Catterall, I think it's from TalkSport, and Bob Arum said that Joshua is not an elite level fighter. Obviously, he got that L against Andy Ruiz. Now, two things here. One, look, he's entitled to his own opinion, and we will discuss what makes an elite level fighter. But I feel like that's now a true reflection of the way fight fans are. Yeah. Someone takes a loss in any sport, right? It's like, they're bums. I mean, Conor McGregor got beat by Khabib Nurmagomedov in the UFC. It's like, oh, he's shit. It's like everyone forgot all the other stuff, the back catalogue. Yeah. Simple question first. Is Joshua an elite level fighter for you?
Of course he is.
Okay, why?
Unified heavyweight champion. Olympic gold medalist.
Okay, yeah.
World amateur, I think he won the world amateur
Silver.
as well.
Silver medal, yeah.
Silver medal in that. He's took on elite competition. He's got the best resume in the heavyweight division. No doubt about it. He's an elite heavyweight fighter. He's an elite fighter.
Has he fought any A level or what your class is A level heavyweights?
Not yet, because Dylan White was on the come up.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard to say he was.
That was at the time a British level fight, wasn't it? It was British Championship. Yeah. Klitschko.
Klitschko was he lost to Fury by then. People say that he was probably on the way out.
41 at the time, I think, as well.
Put in an amazing performance, but he was
2 years out of the ring.
Yeah. So, A-level fighter.
He hasn't, has he? Let's be honest. I mean, so there's Parker, there's Povetkin, there's Ruiz. Who else is there? Takam at the time, Brazil, Molina. There's a lot of B levels in there. Yeah. I don't know if there's any A levels. I don't know if that then makes you elite. I don't know.
Today's standards, I think, currently right now, if he's not elite, then who is? I think that he's an elite heavyweight.
Some people would say Tyson Fury. Some people would say Tyson Fury beat an A level in Vladimir Klitschko, and let's be honest, beating another A level in Deontay Wilder. That's 2 A levels.
Yeah.
But for me, I've always looked at, I always have like fringe world level, which is kind of like, I don't know, top 25, then world level, sort of top 15. If you're in the top 15, for me, you're world level, right? You're there or thereabouts for fighting for a world title. And then elite, I think, is almost like top 5, top 6 in the division. Yeah. You're elite. You're top 5. I mean, you're top 5 in the whole division, in the whole world. Yeah. Surely you're elite. I don't necessarily think that world titles make you elite anymore because we've had some, like Liam Smith was a world champion at 154. Sorry, no. Yeah. That's not elite. Yeah. I mean, who else was? Can't remember the other guys. A few guys with Frank Warren were world champions. I'm like, they're not even in the top 10 in their division. Yeah. So I think Joshua's elite. Yeah. I mean, I'm not having you take one L. And in fact, I think it's more elite to take the L, to regroup, learn from your mistakes, and come back and win in a different performance. Yeah. That's elite for me. That shows you can adjust and make the changes.
If Anthony Joshua if he signs with Bob Arum tomorrow, do you think that Bob Arum would still be saying that he's not elite?
Bob Arum said, like, I had Andy Ruiz Jr. And he said, look, I had Andy, which he did. And Andy Ruiz I'm about to do his voice. Andy Ruiz was like nothing, basically trying to say. He said, I had him and he beat AJ. Yeah. And didn't just beat him, he put him down 4 times. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Boxing, man, like, you can take an L. Yeah. I think with the whole Mayweather era, I think
that's the problem, really, innit? That's killed everyone.
I think that's really made fighters afraid to lose.
Yeah, big time.
Because Mayweather had so much emphasis on the O.
Oh, everything was about it.
Yeah, everything. The whole 49-0 and 50-0 and just being undefeated. It's rubbed off on these guys, man. Especially the guys in the PBC. Yeah. And I think it's how you bounce back from defeat, man. Yeah. I mean, loads of fighters have taken L's. Loads of fighters have lost to guys that you never would have thought. They've come back and they've won. And they've gone on to have great careers. So
Joshua's elite for you.
Joshua's elite for me.
Joshua's elite for me as well, people. Someone asked me the other day, someone actually asked me on Twitter the other day, if Tyson Fury loses, so say Tyson Fury gets knocked out, Dominic Brazil-like, does he retire? What do you think?
I could see it.
You can't you? It's weird, but I can almost see it as well. Just because he has this mystique about not losing and being the greatest, I know it's obviously part of his gimmick, but once you take an L, almost like Prince Nassim Hamed, it's difficult, isn't it?
Tyson Fury spoke about it as well. He's been speaking about, I've got 3 fights left, and anybody that speaks about how many fights you've got left. Yeah. You're already 1 foot out the door, aren't you? 1 foot out the door. If he was to suffer like a devastating defeat, I could imagine his wife telling him, pack this in. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he retired, because then he'll just be like trying to regain what he's already won.
And that's difficult.
Yeah.
And try to regain that confidence as well. And that's very, very difficult. And I guess he's seen money outside of boxing now. WWE paid him a lot of money. He's now, if you like, quote unquote famous, right? Something he probably didn't have after the Klitschko fight. People know him as well. He's on chat shows. He could do his own fucking chat show.
Music.
Easily. He's been doing music with Robbie Williams. So he's seen money, a lot of money. I think the WWE paid him something like 6 or 7 million or something. I heard about that. So he's seen a lot of money outside boxing. So it wouldn't surprise me. It would be disappointing because again, we do want to see the Dillian White fight. Not just people talk about Joshua so much. I want to see him against Dillian White.
I'd love to see him.
I want to see him against Jerome. I want to see him against Luis Ortiz. I want all these fights to happen.
Yeah.
So I hope he doesn't, but I wouldn't be shocked if he says, you know what, enough's enough.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me either. I could see him doing that if he got flattened like Brazil.
Yeah, which is possible, by the way.
With Wilder, anything's possible. Right?
Anything is possible. All right, let's talk about the British scene. I say British scene. This is two very highly rated world level guys. It looks like we are going to get Dillian White versus Povetkin, as opposed to Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz, who we're hearing could be fighting Luis Ortiz, which is a great fight. A fucking great fight that is. Honestly, excellent fight. A 50-year-old against a fat guy. But regardless, it's a great fight. Dillian White versus Povetkin. Great matchup. Happy?
Yeah, I'm happy for now. I would have preferred Ruiz though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would have preferred Ruiz. I think Ruiz would have given him a tougher fight.
Just it's more exciting, isn't it? Ruiz is the guy that knocked down Joshua.
Yeah.
Joshua had to change his style to beat him.
Yeah.
There's a story there.
Yeah.
There is no story really with Povetkin, and boxing's all about stories.
Yeah, I think with Povetkin against Hunter last time out, kind of showed his age in that fight. I think we can all admit that.
Yeah.
Povetkin's obviously got the better resume, more experience, and it'd probably mean more to Dillian White to beat somebody like Povetkin than Ruiz. But in terms of me as a fight fan watching it on TV, I prefer Ruiz. I think the styles would be a great clash. Yeah,
Povetkin's almost just a year and a half past where I would want him to be to fight Dillian White.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the Povetkin that fought David Price, so that's a year and a bit ago. Yeah. Okay, let's see it. Now, a couple of fights later, Price, Hughie Fury, Michael Hunter. Didn't look great against Hughie Fury because obviously Hughie Fury ran a bit. Yeah. And Michael Hunter nearly stopped him a couple of times. It was like, we'll touch and go. But then again, he came back well in that fight. That fight was a draw, let's not forget that. Yeah. And Dillian White didn't look good against Marius Vac.
He did.
In fact, he looked awful.
He was. But he wasn't, man, let's be honest.
His mind wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, what was going on? I can't remember.
Oh man, that was.
It's weird how that B sample shit's been put to bed. I'm not going to start it again, people. I promise.
Yeah. I mean, there was obviously a lot going on with him behind the scenes. Wasn't in shape. Didn't look in shape at all. Against Povetkin, obviously, he's going to come in shape. He's got this whole situation behind him now. Can look forward and he can see in his sights the WBC title fight.
Oh, you think he beats Povetkin?
I think he beats Povetkin now. Yeah. I think Povetkin would have gave him a lot of trouble before. But I think he's just going to old man Povetkin, so to speak. I think he's going to rough him up. Just like Dillian White's just going to just
do Dillian White does. Yeah, it's not much. I don't mean to be crude by this, but it's not a boxing beautiful.
Nah, he's just going to...
It's just he bites on the gum shield and just fights.
I think that's what he's going to do with Povetkin. Yeah.
What about the other big fight that it looks like will be made in May? It was supposed to be in February. It keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And that's Derek Chisora versus Alexander Usyk. I'm getting to the point, and I made a video about this, where I'm actually concerned that we don't get to see the Usyk we thought we were going to see. Yeah. I mean, he's had one fight since November 2018 where he beat Tony Bellew, one. Yeah. Whereas prior to that, I think he had like 6 fights in 2 years. Yeah. What's going on with Usyk? I mean, should we be concerned?
I think so, a little bit. I mean, what's the hold up with the announcement of this fight?
They're trying to say he's got an elbow injury and they want it just to heal properly before they even announce it, just so we can get the exact date he's going to come back.
I mean,
maybe he's just going for a cycle or something.
I'm hoping that he's not, I'm hoping that his body's not worn out at this stage now.
Yeah.
There's a lot more for him to give, especially we all want to see how he gets on in the heavyweight division. Maybe he just wants to be 100% ready for Chisora, because he's going to need to be.
It's funny because we're starting to get this now where you're seeing these guys that had massive amateur careers. Lomachenko all of a sudden started to get a few injuries. Yeah. Golovkin looks a lot tired. I know he's been in tough fights, but he looks tired. Again, these are guys that had 300-400 amateur fights. Yeah. And they go into the pros and it's like their body wears down quickly. Yeah. And I wonder if Alexander Usyk trying to pile on the extra muscle, a stone and a half I'm hearing, I just wonder if his body's like, I can't do this.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Does Chisora cause an upset in that? This version of Chisora?
Not for me.
No, I agree.
Not for me. I think that Usyk's a bad style for him.
Yeah.
Chisora is...
How well was Chisora done to even be in this conversation?
He's done very
I mean,
well.
I think, 8 or 9 losses?
Yeah.
And he's still relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he deserves it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's come back and he's... the crowd are like... I was there, obviously, when we did the fan camps for Taylor Prograde.
Yeah.
Everybody was there for Chisora. I mean, the majority of the crowd there were there for him, and he delivered a spectacular knockout that night. I think he's just like, since the link up with David Haye, we all questioned it at first, but he's, to be fair, he's come out of it as a new man.
He's come out of a new man, and I do wonder if Dave Caldwell is going to be back in. I mean, obviously, wasn't with Dave Caldwell for the last performance against, I think it's Artur Spilka.
Yeah.
Done well in that fight, got the knockout.
Probably not, I think maybe the distance where Caldwell's based and...
That's fucking ridiculous, by the way. I heard that, and where's Caldwell based? Sheffield? Where is it? Sheffield? Doncaster?
Yeah.
I think?
It's up north, Midlands, Yorkshire.
I mean, what are we talking? How many hours are we talking? 4?
Yeah, if that.
If that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I find that ridiculous. I think there's another reason for that. I'm not having the travelling distance as a problem. Yeah. I mean, there's some fighters that cross states in America to train, and we're talking about a 4-hour drive. You can't train.
Was around that time, was Caldwell training somebody else?
Caldwell had a few people. I think he had Hopi Price. Obviously, Anthony Fowler was with him as well. And he was like, Caldwell was like, I can't leave those guys to come and train you privately, but you can come up and train within those guys.
He wouldn't do that.
It was like, Chisora was like, fuck, I'm fucking Del Boy. Yeah. Or I'm more Chisora. I ain't doing that. Yeah. All right, let's talk about another heavyweight fight. I think an exciting one. It's weird. These guys are so far apart in age, but I still think they're both kind of prospects. And that's Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. I never thought the fight was going to happen now. Yeah. It does happen. April, I think, 18th or something.
11th, is it?
Is it 11th, yeah? Great fight.
This is why I'm more excited about this fight than any of the others we just spoke about.
Really? More than Fury Wilder?
No, not Fury Wilder.
Oh, you mean the others? Okay,
no, yeah. Not Fury Wilder.
Yeah.
But this is up there for me.
Yeah.
This is a great fight. I mean, it's similar to me, not in terms of personalities or styles, but it just reminds me of Joshua and White back in 2015, simply for the fact that, all right, Joyce is a lot older.
Yeah.
He's not exactly a young pup.
Yeah.
But in terms of stages of their career,
exactly the same
it's
stage.
Similar. Like Joshua and White were both at the British level attempting to go on to the next stage.
Yeah.
And Joyce and Dubois are kind of similar for that for me.
Yeah, I agree.
European belts now on the line for that.
I heard that, which is good.
That's a good
like
news.
that. I like that because that's where they are for me.
Yeah.
I don't like when people try and give people world level or fringe world level tags. They're both British, European level. That's where they are. Yeah. So let's fight for it and let's see who's going to go on to that next fringe world level. Yeah. I said this, whoever wins does go on. Yeah. And 100% rubber stamped you a fringe world level. Yeah. But let's not start to say, oh, they're world level because... I think we do that so soon. Yeah. Like I heard things like, Daniel Dubois needs to fight Dillian White. I'm like, Dillian White's the 5th or 6th best heavyweight in the world right now. Why is he going to look back for Daniel Dubois?
Who's like 21?
21, yes, he's knocked out some people, but I mean, I think I could train and knock out Fujimoto. Yeah. I'm not even fucking, you know what I mean? Like, so don't get ahead of ourselves. Honestly, yeah. Who do you think wins that one? Sorry to put you on the spot, just in case you have to interview them.
I'd say, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people that are just dismissing Joyce.
Completely, right?
I'm not with it.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be dismissing him like
at all. It's an
the
Olympic silver medalist.
I favour Dubois.
Yeah.
I do.
Why? Punch power.
Wrecking ball right now.
Don't you think though that, and I said this, that Joe Joyce could knock out everyone that Daniel Dubois knocked out just the same way?
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But he's just so much slower than Daniel Dubois.
Oh, it's fucking Daniel Dubois is in fucking treacle when he fights. Sorry, Joe Joyce is.
Joyce is he just, I don't know what it is because on the outside looking in, it's just clubbing, slow, plodding, but it works.
But it works. It does work.
He's not going to be afraid of Daniel Dubois.
And he's got an engine.
He's got an engine. He's beat some top guys in the amateurs and he's beat guys in the pros now. Yeah. Much better resume than Dubois has.
Yeah. But you still, after all that, which sounds good, you're still going Dubois.
The reason why is I think he's just young guy coming up.
Yeah.
You know, he's blitzing everybody in his path right now. And I think that Joyce will take it to Dubois. I can see already from the press conference and like just some of the face-offs that they've had already that Joyce is looking at this guy like, you're a little kid to me, man.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of you, sort of thing. But I just think Dubois is a wrecking ball, man.
He's a wrecking ball.
It might play into his hands.
He's almost, I think he tricks people because he does this, I don't want to talk and I can't talk and this shy. And then he gets in the ring and it's like, what the fuck? He turns into Mike Tyson. Yeah. He literally bites, he will have a shootout with you. He doesn't care. He's that confident about his power and his chin. And he's his boxing ability is underrated as well. He's a lot more fluid than you think.
Yeah.
Like, he throws his punches from different angles. He can move a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Gorman was supposed to be a 50-50 fight. Iced him. It was like, who's this kid? Not to lie, by the way. That didn't fucking fool me at all. I don't know what is going on with Gorman either, by the way.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I thought Gorman versus Dave Allen would be a good fight for both of them, I think. But I don't know how difficult that fight's going to be to make. But I like the fight. I'm shocked that Daniel Dubois has taken it this early.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to. Joyce needs to, because Joyce can't get anyone. But it's a great fight, and I just hope that it lives up to the billing. I really do.
I think it will. I think it will. I think we're going to be in for a good fight, this one. I think that I don't want to come across like I'm just dismissing Joyce. Because a lot of people are.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just saying, Dubois is going to steamroll him. And we shouldn't count out Joyce. I think we should put a bit of respect on his name, man.
Yeah, I like that. Put a bit of respect on his name. I am one of those people that counting out Joe Joyce, by the way.
Oh, you are?
I don't know what it is. I've always said last couple of weeks I've been like, gun to my head, Joe Joyce. But there's something about Daniel Dubois. I feel like he's going to knock him out.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's no logic to it. There's nothing. I mean, I look at his resume, both of their resumes. I mean, fucking Joe Joyce has beat the likes of Bryant Jennings, Ustinov, Bermain Stavern, fringe guys, right? But still way better opposition than Daniel Dubois.
He's hittable.
He's hittable.
And in that fight with, I was there when Joyce fought Bryant Jennings.
Yeah.
He was hurt in that first
You went to Stevenage Borough Football Club?
No, that was in the 02.
Oh, that was in the 02. You went to Stevenage? Fucking hell.
I did go there, yeah.
Stadium fight. Jesus.
Not too far from
Was that the Shefat Isufu one or something?
Yeah, that was the Isufu.
God, we're going to talk about Billy Joe Saunders in a minute. Shocking. Yeah.
But I remember in the first round against Bryant Jennings, Joyce was hurt.
Yeah.
He was hurt pretty badly. I think it was a body shot.
And Bryant Jennings isn't considered a puncher.
No.
Yeah. So although very experienced.
He's not hard to hit, Joyce. And I think Dubois doesn't like being hit, which is...
No, Dubois gets angry when he gets hit.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Where some fighters I've noticed, when they get hit, they go to the back foot. Like Miguel Cotto always used to get hit and then kind of do that little back foot shuffle. Yeah. Dubois gets hit and it fucking... It's almost like it pisses him off. Yeah. Like, how dare you?
Like, why are you hitting me?
Yeah, why are you hitting me? Like, he's got this little roadman thing about him. Like, what blood? Yeah. And then it goes for it. Yeah. And he comes from a fighting family. His sister fights as well. Yeah, she's very good. I saw Daniel Dubois when he was 17 spar Derek Chisora. I'm not going to say how it went, but let's just say he handled himself well. That was at 17. 17 years old. I mean, that's a brute. As that was when Chisora was getting ready to fight Tyson Fury the second time round. So he can handle himself a lot.
I heard rumours of him sparring Povetkin. Was it before Povetkin fought? Can't remember. Was it before he fought AJ?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
yeah, it was.
And it's out.
I heard he was in trouble though against someone in that sparring camp as well.
Oh, you did?
I heard that Daniel Dubois was in big trouble against someone in that sparring camp.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Someone told me. Oh yeah, I know sparring rumors on this channel. Yeah. You mentioned Billy Joe Saunders there, and sorry to segue like this, people. Obviously, it looks like he's favourite to get the Canelo Alvarez fight. Mike Coppinger, the Mr. Source himself, said the fight is 95% done. Yeah. And I think the remaining 5% is just a case of working out what Billy Joe Saunders' basic salary will be, or basic pay. Obviously, he'll get a lot more on top once the signings come in from DAZN. Does he deserve the fight? And based on some of the people that we're led to believe were also sort of earmarked for the fight, so Caleb Plant, Murata, Callum Smith, is this the best choice?
Yeah, for me, yes.
Yeah,
I think it is. Does he deserve the fight? Yeah, he's the champion right now, albeit at super middleweight, but I think that's where the fight will be at.
Beat Shefat Isufu for a vacant belt.
For the belt, yeah, okay.
It's fucking cheeky, that is.
It was. But I think in terms of Canelo and his options right now, he's on a multi-fight contract with DAZN.
Yeah.
He was discussing the Murata fight. I mean, I'd much rather see him in against Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders, I've said it many times on my channel that it's time for him to have that fight now.
Yeah.
The fight. Lemieux was an important fight for him, and he came out of that with flying colours. And I think that, the style-wise, I want to see Canelo win with that sort of style now. I mean, we've seen him with somebody like Triple G.
Yeah.
Seen him with Danny Jacobs.
Yeah.
Billy Joe Saunders offers something different.
What, different than a Lara? Or a Floyd? That are fucking pure, utter boxers. Lara was a southpaw as well, wasn't he?
He was, but I think Billy Joe has a bit more pop than Lara.
Yeah. Does he?
I think so, a bit more than Lara. I think so, yeah.
Okay.
He's not a very massive puncher himself, but
I
think he's got more pop than Lara. But Lara was just on his bike that fight. I mean, there was a lot of people that thought
Lara won. Yeah.
I thought Canelo won.
Yeah.
I think Lara did.
It's difficult, right? Do you judge the guy offensively or the guy is fighting on the back foot doing good stuff?
Yeah.
Lara's on the back foot doing good stuff.
He was moving a bit too much in that fight. But I think Saunders, I want to see it. I'm interested.
You know, you mentioned there, it's a good point. You said it's time for him to take this step up.
Yeah.
My thing is, I feel like there's almost a middle in between Lemieux and Canelo.
Yeah.
And that guy was Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah.
And I felt like I wanted to see you take that step up.
Yeah.
I feel like Billy Joe Saunders is still living off this David Lemieux performance. You just mentioned it there. And that performance was nearly 2 years ago. Yeah. And I think by the time fight time comes around, it could be 2.5 years. I could be wrong. But I know it was December. I think it was either 2017 or 2018. I can't remember. It was so long ago. And I feel like, is he just living off this performance? Because again, Shefa Isufu performance wasn't great. Right. He fought on the undercard of Logan Paul versus KSI. Wasn't great. He had a cruiserweight fight. I think it was Josh Warrington versus Carl Frampton. I think he was chucked in on that. Wasn't great. We seem to be talking about Billy Joe Saunders like he's this second coming of something. He hasn't had a good performance for nearly 2 years.
I think it's because what we know he can do.
Against David Lemieux.
Yeah, I think even before that.
Andy Lee.
He was impressive in that fight.
Yeah.
He's very good amateur career. It's always been a case of, I want to see Billy Joe in there just to see, it's time now.
Yeah.
It's go time. I want to see him in there with an elite. And Demetrius Andrade would have been like...
That would have been a great... That would have been the one where you do that and then Canelo. Do you know what I mean? There's kind of those middle guys was like... Because for me, Canelo's fucking there. Yeah. And there's some middle guys in between where, okay, you beat him and then let's see what happens. Yeah. You beat a Derevchenko, then let's see what happens. You beat a Danny Jacobs, then let's see what happens. Yeah. I feel like, look, I want, if all the options are there in terms of Callum Smith, Murata, Caleb Plant, I feel like that's the fight I want to see. Billy Joe Saunders. Yeah. But I don't know if he's deserving of it. I mean, imagine if you're Callum Smith. I mean, you've been with Matchroom since the get-go. Yeah. You're the ring-recognised number one. I don't think he is the best super middleweight, but you're ring-recognised number one. You're the natural super middleweight. Up pops this fucking kid who, buddy, beat Shefa Isufu for a vacant belt, has been with Matchroom for all of a week, and all of a sudden he gets the biggest fight, the golden ticket, over you.
Yeah, but I mean, Callum Smith, I mean, he didn't look great last time out.
Didn't look great at all against John Ryder. Lost that fight, I think, as well.
He didn't look good against John Ryder, in my opinion.
Doesn't speak, does he, either?
Doesn't
help himself.
Doesn't help himself.
Just fucking talk.
Yeah, doesn't.
Like, fucking, even if you can't talk, get someone to talk for you. Like the way Joe Joyce has Sam Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, because Gallagher, I think people just get pissed off of hearing him. Yeah. Get someone that will actually be your voice if you don't want to speak it.
Opinion. I do like Joe Gallagher.
So do I, actually. Yeah. He says it how it is, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Bit of a...
Sometimes
blocked me on Twitter, by the way.
Oh, did he?
I don't know what I said. It must have been a couple of years ago. I must have said something stupid. I was a bit stupid on Twitter. Yeah. I'm a grown man now. But yeah.
I think, look, Rocky Fielding didn't deserve the Canelo fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so good point.
I think Billy Joe Saunders, I think it will...
That's a very good point, by the way.
I probably looked at the numbers and thought, Billy Joe will probably bring a crowd over. And
what chance do you give him? If it was like a percentage. So, for example, in my head, I give him a 10% chance.
Really?
Yeah, that low. Yeah, you know what it is? I just think I've watched all of Canelo's fights. Even the other day, I was watching all of them on YouTube, highlights. Yeah. And I don't see anything this guy does wrong anymore.
No.
He's almost like the complete boxer. And then I saw a video of him at his house. This is so random. He was playing with this broom, trying to balance a broom or something. I don't know what was going on. Looks in fucking shape. I've never seen Canelo out of shape. Never. Yes, he probably gets help, dodgy help. But he's just fit. He's strong. We know this guy can take a punch. Golovkin, the hardest puncher we've probably ever seen for a long time, landed clean. This guy didn't budge. Yeah. Danny Jacobs hit him clean, didn't budge. Everything's a 9 out of 10. Everything. Engine's good now as well. I just don't see how you beat him at 160 or 168 right now.
I agree. I don't think there's anyone.
No, I'm serious. No,
that beats him.
Unless there's someone I don't know that's coming up on the ranks. He is a complete fighter. Yeah. And that's why I give Billy Joe a 10% chance. Just because Billy Joe has that X factor and Billy Joe's a southpaw, right?
Southpaw, yeah.
So he can cause maybe some problems. Yeah. But right now, Canelo is just a fucking wrecking machine right now. Yeah. He's fast, he can jab, he can go to the body, his defense, everything. Yeah. I mean, Golovkin, let's not forget, Golovkin is a great boxer. Yeah. And there are times when he's making Golovkin miss and outbox him.
Yeah. There was a clip floating around with him against Danny Jacobs, and Jacobs literally couldn't land anything.
I saw that. 5 or 6 shots. Yeah. And Danny Jacobs was trying this, dum.
Looked like Floyd there.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And that's the point. I'm so happy you mentioned Floyd, because Floyd, I think that loss to Floyd has made him change and reassess everything.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's why it's okay to take an L.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He took that loss, and since then he's looked devastating.
That's an example.
Devastating.
Like Dylan White, that's another example.
Take the L, learn from it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
I'll give Billy Joe Saunders a like a 30% chance.
Yeah.
A bit more than you.
30's generous. 30's generous.
He's going to have to really be on his game against Canelo. Because nobody is unbeatable. Nobody's unbeatable.
I agree with that.
And if Billy Joe is like, I'm not saying he'll win, because I still think he'd lose. But I think that if he's in tip-top shape, don't want to refer to the Lemieux fight again, because that's going to get boring. But I think if he can have the style to give him problems, I'll say that. But how long before Canelo adjusts, I don't know.
Canelo in the last 2.5 years.
He didn't look great against Kovalev, by the way.
Didn't look great against Kovalev, but again, that weight. I mean, he's put on the weight and he looked a bit too weighty, if I'm honest. He looked a bit too muscular. Canelo in the last couple of years, because everyone wants to earn money, right? You hear a lot of these young boxers coming up talking about, now I want this, I want that. Canelo in the last 2 years has fought Golovkin twice, Kovalev, Rocky Fielding, and Danny Jacobs. Yeah. And now Billy Joe Saunders. That's his resume, his last 5 fights. Yeah. That's fucking ridiculous. Everyone keeps talking about they want money. This guy literally is getting in there. And by the way, those fights are at 160, 168, and 175. That's across 3 weight divisions.
Can't argue that.
Oh, fuck it. It's unbelievable. And I'm not even a big fan of his.
Does that make him pound for pound number 1 for you now?
Yeah, completely. Yeah, I completely. And now if you're adding Billy Joe Saunders to that resume as well, I mean, because again, this is someone that everyone's saying, I might beat him.
Out of Billy Joe, Callum Smith.
Yeah.
Who else was in the running?
Caleb Plant, Murata.
Who out of those 4 do you think would give him the toughest challenge, you reckon?
Billy Joe.
You
know, Caleb Plant's a tricky one. But I would go Billy Joe, just because he brings this, it's almost like a Tyson Fury X factor.
And you only giving Billy Joe 10%?
Yeah, I might go to 15. Yeah. Just because of this Tyson Fury factor. He's got to sink a bit. Yeah. Like that David Lemieux performance could come out again. Yeah. Like it could come out. That was away from home as well. David Lemieux was favourite to knock him out. Because David Lemieux supposed power. Yeah. And he just embarrassed him, fucking done that. Yeah. That would never ever be forgotten.
Never be forgotten.
Never. People have done that and been knocked out after, by the way.
I know what you're talking about. I just think, this is his coming out fight. This is it for him. So I just think, I want to see it. Even if he doesn't win it, I want to see it.
Imagine if you're Frank Warren right now. Obviously, Billy Joe has left. We talk about Josh Warren in a second. He left. But Billy Joe left because he couldn't get a big fight. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, your nemesis, Eddie Hearn, delivers him Canelo. Yeah. Just like, hey, here you go. Welcome to Matchroom.
I saw a Frank Warren interview today, and they brought that up, actually. And I think he just said, we were on the verge of getting that fight anyway. We would have got that fight by now.
Oh, stop lying.
Stop lying. That was his response.
Stop lying. He's just not enough. I feel sorry for him, but he's just not a big enough player. No. Like I said, when he's gonna, I predicted. Well, I didn't predict. That's bullshit. That's a lie, actually. I thought he could lose Josh Warrington just because I was like, let's see if he can now financially secure the Shakur Stevenson fight. Yeah. And he couldn't. No. That's why he left, because he couldn't secure it financially. He just doesn't have enough backing. BT Sports contract can't be that much money. His big fighters are leaving. Like, really, does he even really promote Tyson Fury nowadays? Yeah. That's kind of top rank, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Let's be honest. I mean, they're all leaving. Josh Warrington's left. Liam Smith has left. Billy Joe Saunders has left. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Anthony Yard and that contract situation. Hence why he signed Danny Dubois for a 5-year deal. It's a sinking ship. It's a sinking ship. And it's not fair, but it's just money. He doesn't have enough money to compete with them. Yeah. That's simple. Although he has signed an ITV contract.
Yeah, heard about that.
Yeah, which is interesting. That's great for boxing.
That's great for boxing, yeah. I'm not on any side when it comes to that sort of thing. If we, the viewer, get as much boxing as we can,
bring it on
free TV, then hey, I'm all
How can you complain? Yeah, let's not be promoter, fan, favourite, just wherever.
I think for Frank, what he needs to focus on now, because he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah,
he's not going to quit.
Mate, fucking hell, he'll go down fucking guns blazing.
I think he needs to focus on the younger generation now and try and build up the star that he can. Anthony Yard, for example, try and do everything you can to hold on to him.
Problem is, he done that, and he's been doing that, and Eddie steals them.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, he bought Kell Brook was Frank Warren, stole him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Tony Bennett stole him. Literally, all of them come through. Frankie give me that. Yeah. He builds them up, but then once they get to a stage where they want the big fight and financially, Matchroom and Sky and DAZN can pay the big bucks, and that's what it's about, to be honest. You're not getting there to get punched in the face for free. They're going to go.
I think his only saving grace would be that maybe Eddie Hearn will have too big a roster.
Yeah.
Where they're not going to be able to focus on that particular fighter, whereas Frank Warren can, because he's got more time and space to do so. I think that will be his saving grace. But he did well to hold Dubois to a 5-year.
Agreed.
He did well on that.
And Eddie must have been sniffing.
Yeah.
Must have been sniffing.
But I think I don't think he's done a bad job with Dubois.
I don't think he's done a bad job either. And I think...
Same with Warren. I don't think Frank did a bad job with
No,
him.
absolutely not. I mean, those fucking fights in Leeds. I mean, Selby, Warrington, Galahad. Selby, Frampton, Galahad. Fucking great fights.
Yeah.
Great fights. Again, it's just money talks. If Frank's saying, look, we'll pay you 1 million, Eddie says, I'll give you 2. What do you do? What do you do? All right, I want to talk about Chris Eubank Jr. A lot's been spoken about middleweights, super middleweights, Golovkin, Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith. We don't hear about him. He obviously went off to America, had that fight against, I think, Matvey Korobov. Was losing the first round. Korobov got injured in the second round. Lucky, I think. Yeah. That could have gone funny. And now it's almost a case of what next? Yeah. What the fuck is going on with Eubank Jr.?
I think he's just more into the celebrity. Let's be honest.
That's what it is, isn't it?
More into the celebrity.
That's what it is.
Man. Like,
that's what it is.
He's done very well for himself.
Yeah.
Somebody I respect Chris Eubank Jr. His
a lot. I love
work
him.
ethic is amazing.
Oh.
Unbelievable. But
imagine he had the same. Imagine Billy Joe Saunders had Chris Eubank Jr.'s work ethic.
Yeah.
It'd be the machine.
It would.
It'd be the complete boxing machine, yeah.
But I just think, I don't think there's no massive desire. Well, from the outside.
No, that's what it is, isn't it?
It don't seem like he had the fight with James DeGale.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the ring until that December. So
so that fight was in February. Yeah.
So, it wasn't. I just think, how old is Chris Eubank? Is he 29?
I'm going to say he's 30. That's a complete guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he's 30. So right now he's prime. And he seems to want to model for Fendi more than he wants. And look, I don't blame him. If you gave me the option, do I want to get in the ring and get fucked up? Or do I want to model for Fendi? I want to model for Fendi.
Yeah. He's never going to be as good as his dad, let's be honest.
Yep.
So, he's just...
That's harsh. You don't
think he'll be as good as his dad?
No, I don't think he will be.
No.
I just don't think...
Not fair to compare.
Yeah. It's difficult. Yeah.
But I just think that in terms of his career, it's been successful. But I just think that, he's got other interests. Like, if I'm being honest, man, and he's looking after number one, which is himself.
Would you like to see him come back and fight in the UK? Or you just, whatever, just want to see him fight?
No, I don't have a problem with him being in America. I don't,
really?
Because I think over here...
you know what it is, though? Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. I just felt like he could have been a massive star over here.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just feel like...
It's not really popular, though. He's not very liked, though, is he?
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a James DeGale. I've always said this.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to bring up James DeGale as a reference point, but where people are like, kind of like him, but don't like him. Yeah. Chris Eubank Jr., you want to be that, where people just think, fuck him. Yeah. They will tune in for fuck him, because they're tuned in to see you lose.
I'll tell you what, I was at that DeGale and Eubank fight, and people were rooting for DeGale.
See?
When I was there, like, at the beginning of the fight, everyone was cheering for DeGale. During the fight, the crowd shifted to Eubank Jr.
Really?
The way how Eubank was taking it to DeGale,
yeah.
How DeGale he was just spoiling and wasn't trying to fight. All of a sudden, people were like, you know what, we're going for Eubank. So he could. I mean, because he always says that, he gets a lot of stick on Twitter and online, but when people see him, everybody's really friendly.
Fucking, that's fans, innit? Fans are always like that.
Yeah.
No fan, take a picture, yeah. Like, all the fans that fucking diss AJ, none of them are going to look at him when they see him and say, oh, you cunt. Yeah. He's going to be like, oh, can we have a photo, please?
Picture,
yeah. Sorry for the foul language, people.
I think that's the same with Eubank Jr. But I like fighters going over to America and trying to make a name for themselves over there as well.
There was a lot of talk about him versus Charlo. That was the idea, right? Because Charlo, I think, had a fight against, I think it was Hogan or something, I can't remember. Yeah. And it was the idea, they were always going to fight. And then, I don't know what's happened. Maybe because of, again, the way he performed against Korobov. Everyone was like, don't fancy it anymore. Yeah.
Well, something's got to be done. He's got to go somewhere.
There are too many good fighters at 160 and 168 for him not to be in big fight after big fight after big fight now.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he has a fucking fight against John Ryder over here, I wouldn't complain. Just something. Yeah.
I think he's got to make money for him. I think he's got to be an attractive fight. He's got to get something out the fight. I think with John Ryder, he'll probably look at it like, I don't get nothing out of it.
All right, we're going to run through a couple of quick names and get me your take on what's going on with them. Where do you think they are right now? Amir Khan. We've not seen Amir Khan in the ring since he fought, I think it was in August against Billy Dib, and that fight in Saudi Arabia. Semi-retirement, pretty much. Is that what you think he is right now?
He's got Saudi Arabia fight again coming up. And then
has he?
Yeah.
He's got another, I didn't even know that.
He's going to be fighting again in Saudi Arabia this year.
Yeah.
Then that's it. I think I don't see him doing
What a long career, by the way.
Yeah.
People talk about Amir Khan like, you know what it is? I think we look at him and he's the same age as a Kell Brook, and I think he's even a bit younger, actually, because I think Kell Brook's 34, I think Amir Khan's 32, 33. You forget that this guy literally came out of the Athens at 17. Athens Olympics, 2004. And he's been boxing literally since then. It's a ridiculously long career.
Yeah.
And he's had some great fights.
Yeah.
So if he does call it quits, I mean, what a great career.
Great career for him.
I mean, people might laugh and say he didn't took the Kell Brook fight. Go and look at the fucking resumes. Yeah. Compare resumes. Don't judge your likeness or dislikeness in Amir Khan based on Kell Brook. Look at who he has fought, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Amir Khan go down as having a better career.
By far,
Amateur
win or
pro.
lose, amateur or pro,
Yeah.
win or lose. I mean, you've got Devin Alexander in there, you've got Terence Crawford in there, you've got Canelo in there, Paulie, Maidana in there, Zab Judah's in there, Louis Collazo's in there, Barrera's in there. Yeah. I mean, Kell, we're scratching the surface on a couple of names here.
Kell chased Khan too long.
Yeah.
That was his big thing.
But Khan equally chased Floyd and Pac-Man, but still had fights.
Yeah. That's why I always tell people Brooks was worse. People say, whose was worse? Khan chasing Mayweather or Brook chasing Khan? I've always said Brook chasing Khan.
Yeah, Khan is chasing the GOATs.
Yeah.
Khan, no, let's be touched. Khan's chasing Floyd and Pac, which, yes, they're the biggest money fights, but at the time Khan was chasing them, they were the pound for pound number 1 and 2. What is the problem with chasing that? Yeah. Brook is chasing Khan, who was no GOAT. He was a good fighter, decent fighter at 140 pounds. Khan's chasing the greatest, no problem with that at all.
And like you said, he still had the fights.
Still had the fights in between. Yeah. All right, let's talk about Kell Brook. Obviously jumped to 154 pounds. Yeah. Decent fight, I thought. Decent win against an opponent that he was supposed to look good against. That's why they match make. Can he do anything at 154 pounds for you?
Possibly. It just depends. 154 pound division is really in the air. Everybody's losing at the moment.
But everyone's losing to fucking sharks though, bruv. Yeah. They're sharks in there. They're all like 6 foot as well.
I think he could target the WBO champion maybe. I forgot the guy's name.
Rosario, no.
I forgot his name.
Yeah.
It's not going to come to me. But I'm not saying he's going to win a title there. I think the Smith fight will tell me a lot.
Yeah.
Smith is another one. He's not like elite at that level anymore. But I think
anymore, was he ever?
Maybe not, no.
No.
But if he can, we're just thinking of world titles, aren't we? If he beats Liam Smith and looks good doing it...
I don't think he beats Liam Smith either, by the way.
That's a big ask.
That's a shame. I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't think Kell Brook beats Liam Smith. I saw footage of Kell Brook sparring Liam Smith in preparation for Golovkin. Yeah. Liam Smith was handling him.
Really?
Handling him. And that was before...
Maybe that's
why remember, that was before broken orbitals. Yeah. That was before Kell had any injuries. That was an unbeaten IBF Kell. And Liam Smith was handling him.
With Kell, I think it's just going to be a case of what if. His chance really came after the Porter fight for him to really go up that level because there was no excuses. That division that he was in, he could have had fights with the likes of Furman, Danny Garcia, Pacquiao was still there. Yep. Mayweather was on his way out. I probably wouldn't have fought Brook.
Even those guys like Andre Berto. You know what I mean? Decent names out there. And he fought nobody. Yeah. I want to know who I don't know who Kell Brook's manager was. I'm so angry about this because I'm a big Kell Brook fan. Who thought it was a good idea to put Kell Brook in with Golovkin? Like, who woke up and said, you know what, it's a good fight? Who? Golovkin at the time was the killing wrecking machine that no one at 160 wanted. And Kell Brook, 147, unbeaten, 147 champion, no injuries, doing well. Someone said, you know what, let's have that fight. Who the fuck makes that decision?
When you look back on it now, terrible decision, man.
Canelo didn't want him.
No.
Miguel Cotto didn't want it. No. But Kell Brook thought, I'm brave, I'm big, I walk around at 180. Fucking disgrace.
The backstory to that was he was supposed to fight Jesse Vargas, wasn't he?
Yeah.
In unification.
Yeah.
Didn't come off. Then all of a sudden, the Eubank fight with Golovkin was in the process of being made.
Yeah.
Didn't get round to it. Then all of a sudden, Brook wanted to be brave and for the money. It was for the money.
For the money.
It was for the money and it's ruined his career.
Amir Khan, I think, got Canelo and that pissed him off. Like, okay, if Amir Khan can get Canelo,
can get Golovkin.
And it's weird what happened to both of them. Amir Khan got iced, and Golovkin destroyed Kell Brook.
Yeah, gave him a beating.
And that should have been them two matching up with each other, but for some reason they decided to do that, and they both got fucked up. Yeah. And both of them, to be fair, careers since then have been nothing. Yeah. Kell Brook, 33, 34. Do you think he can win a world title? You think he can at 154?
It's asking a lot. I honestly think he'll get smashed to pieces.
And I like Kell. I think if he goes to 154, there's guys out there like Erickson Lubin without a title I think would eat him. Yeah. I think they're just too big. Kell Brook was considered a big guy at 147. Yeah. And it's weird how you jump up 7 pounds and you're a small guy.
Yeah.
Because those guys, I'm not joking, they're all like 6'1". Jared Hurd's massive. Tony Harrison, I couldn't believe how big he was. How fucking tall are you? Jesus Christ. Yeah. Like these guys look like they're old school 175s. Yeah. Honestly, I just feel like, and Jared Hurd's, no way. I remember I was watching Jared Hurd versus Erislandy Lara, and the way he was beating up Lara towards the end, I was like, this is just painful. Just walking through him and just boom, boom.
And that's the problem. And you have to blame Kell Brook.
I do blame Kell Brook because, Eddie's, I'm not going to say, he is an elite promoter and Eddie can get you fights. And there's no way you can be with Eddie Hearn, Sky Sports, who were pumping at the time, and you can't get fights. It's you. It has to be you. Yeah. All right, let's end on this one. Terence Crawford, one of my favourite fighters, if not my favourite fighter. Did you hear that? Did you hear that frustrating? Because it is frustrating. Yeah. We talked about Deontay Wilder versus Joshua and Joshua versus Tyson Fury. I mean, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford is never going to happen, is it?
Probably not. That was the fight for me. After Wilder and Joshua, I remember there was a time when Wilder and Joshua was the fight, and Crawford Spence was the second fight for me. I wanted to see those two fights over anything, but we've seen what's happened. I was a massive fan of Errol Spence, massive. He was like, I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna say something bad here?
Yeah, he was. I'm not afraid to admit it. Like he was one of my favourite fighters.
Yeah.
When he fought Brook in Sheffield, I went to watch it, secretly supporting Spence, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Cheeky.
Yeah, but I just loved his come up. I thought, you know what, this guy, he's all business, he just wants to fight, and he's taking guys out. I loved how he worked to the body and stuff, and then all of a sudden he won that belt, and then he started hanging around with Broner, started hanging around with Tank, and started drinking. Then obviously he had the car crash, and just hasn't been the same for Spence, man. I just think that we're probably not going to see the Crawford fight with a combination of that, and also with Al Heyman and Bob Arum just refusing to work for each other. I just think that is...
It's weird. When I watched like the likes of a Broner, Gervonta Davis, who's had his issues outside the ring recently with that domestic violence case, I don't know what's going to go on with that. Yeah. I watched the Charlos. It just makes me have so much more appreciation for Floyd.
Yeah.
Because it almost looked like Floyd was like what they are, but he wasn't.
No.
It was almost like he was pretending to be, because he doesn't drink. Yeah. When he partied, he wasn't drinking, he was buying drinks. Yeah. He would jog home sometimes and let the chauffeur drive the roads. Completely different. And I'm like, you've got Floyd there, copy him. But then you see Errol Spence now drunk behind the scenes, putting on the weight. Yeah. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
He never used to be like that.
Never. He was all business. I remember for the Kell Brook fight, he's saying all business. And I thought, my God, he's so humble, speaks so well. Yeah. And now it's like, what's happened to you?
Yeah.
What has happened to you?
Money, fame. You know,
it must be difficult. Look, it must be difficult to go from to have all that money and that fame and that adulation. Must be difficult to handle. But again, Floyd handled it at the biggest stage. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think just with Crawford now.
Although Floyd had a domestic violence issue as well, I thought I'd just add that just before anyone comes at me. Yeah, but it's quite a big point. It's quite a big point. Floyd did have a domestic violence case, people. Yes.
Crawford now is in a position where you've got his promoter talking about fighting Khabib and stuff like that, and he's like, this guy is in the prime of his career, one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world, and you're talking about matching with Khabib when there are so many fights that could be made.
I think it's embarrassing, and that's why Bob Arum is just a complete little shit. Where he was laughing about Conor versus Floyd, like how this is a disgrace, and now you're doing it. But it's clear PBC and Top Rank can work together. We're seeing it with Deontay Wilder Fury. Yeah. So how can we not see a Top Rank fighter fight Danny Garcia or Porter? I'm not even asking for fucking Errol Spence right now. I'm not, because he's out injured. Yeah. Give me fucking Terence Crawford versus Danny Garcia. Give me that. Porter. Give me Porter. Yeah. Give me anyone.
One of them.
Give me something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not asking for Errol because I get Errol's injured and I don't want to see Errol fight this whole year, to be honest with you. Because he looked a bit funny when he done an interview recently. I was like, that's not correct. Yeah. Give me anyone. How can we see Terence Crawford, a freeweight world champion, unbeaten, be fighting people like Amir Khan and the guy he fought recently, he's mandatory, whose name I even forgot. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I think the only thing with, like, I saw a comment somewhere, somebody said that Crawford is like one of the only fighters he's ever known to drop down the pound for pound list but continue to win. So
crazy. That's funny, isn't it?
Pound for pound list, but he's still winning. And that's because of his competition. And I just think it's really unfortunate, man, because those fights will bring the best out of him. Porter.
Yeah. Oh, Unbelievable.
Spence,
yeah, and I think he would raise his levels. I think he's that guy that would raise his levels. All right, before we go, sorry guys, this is going on and on and on. Sorry about this. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. You didn't know this was coming. Top 5 pound for pound right now.
Oh no, not again. I the other day.
5-1.
Right. We starting from 5?
5, yeah.
Let me start from 1.
All right, go on. All right, go that way then. Yeah.
I'll say Canelo right now.
Okay,
Canelo,
you're not going to get any arguments from me, even though PED issue, but no, it's okay. We'll skip the PEDs.
Yeah, Lomachenko number 2.
Phenomenal fighter, best fighter in the world, best fighter. Him and Floyd, best fighter I've ever seen.
Yeah. Lomachenko number 2.
Yep.
Number 3, I'll go for.
Oh my God, it's not going to be Terence Crawford. I can see it in your eyes. It's not Terence Crawford.
That's still Terence Crawford.
Okay, oh fucking hell.
Number 3.
About to kick him out. Okay, yeah.
4, Usyk.
Yep. Okay, no complaints. Even though the last year and a half, like how long do you hold that stock for?
Yeah.
Because he hasn't done nothing for a year and a half. I mean, is it like, okay, no matter what, we're still giving you credits for stuff you done in 2017?
It's hard for me to take it off and considering what he's done.
Yeah.
You know, going into those fighters' backyards and winning like.
It's ridiculous, by the way. Everyone's backyard. Everyone's.
I think Usyk number 4, and I think number 5. I'd give it to Inoue.
Okay.
I'll give it to Inoue.
I can't argue that. People say like Strada's got a good opportunity. I can't argue with those 5 either. I think it's a good 5. I think I'd have Inoue above him now.
Above Usyk?
Yeah. Just for what? Again, it's a what have you done for me lately thing. Yeah. I thought Inoue's fight against Daenerys, although Daenerys probably a couple of 4 or 5 years past it, was such a good fight. Fight of the year for me. Yeah. So I've got to give him that. So that would be I would go with that. What you have, but I would swap Inoue and Usyk. All right, that's it, guys. Fucking hell. I mean, I do think we're going to have an exciting 2020, regardless if we don't get the fights we want. That's just boxing, right? But let's look forward to what we have got coming and what we think we've got coming. Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders, going to be ridiculous. Usyk versus Chisora, if it happens, will be fun. Can Usyk handle a real heavyweight, a live heavyweight? Wilder versus Fury, though, people. It doesn't get bigger than this. By the way, I'm not joking. This is our fucking Super Bowl. If you think there's anything bigger coming, I'm sorry to disappoint you. There isn't. This will probably be the biggest fight of 2020. Fact, right? I mean, unless we get Joshua versus any of these guys, that's it. Yeah. We're not going to get Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. This is the biggest fight of 2020. So make sure you stay up. Don't try and stream it. Buy it. Give them some money. Buy it. Support them. Support them. Because you know what? The stream's going to be taken down and you're going to be pissed. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. I've illegally streamed myself and it's just not worth the hassle. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. That's Daryl from Boxing Lowdown. Guys, can you subscribe, please? I don't know what the problem is. I've always said this. Go and check out someone's channel. If you like the content, just press the subscribe button. Yeah. If you don't like the content, don't. But give them a follow. It's not always, I think we're so fixated, I'm ranting on here, I think we're so fixated about following people that have massive numbers, as though those massive numbers mean they are the God's voice on boxing. Yeah. It ain't the case. There are some really good small channels of guys that know their shit, but just don't get the fucking recognition they deserve. That's one of them. That's one of them. Trust me, guys. Support him. Daryl, as always,
thank you, bro.
Peace, brother.
Take care.
Peace, guys.